Hello class, see you again. So in this video, you are going to study the blueprint 6 for the first sessions. So in today's activities, there will be only two main activities for you to study in this video for the first sessions. So the first activity is about the writing skill, and the second activity is the listening practice. So without any further ado, I would like all of you to open your books. So the book that you study for today's class is the Blueprint 6. So the module 2, which is about culture, and we are studying the last lesson in this module, which is the lesson 5. We talk about the British cultures. So everyone, now let's start with our first activity. So the first activity that we are going to study today is the writing skill. So we focus on writing the mail. So here is an email to a pen pal. So do you know what does the word pen pal mean? So pen pal, which means a friend that you don't know her face, you just communicate with each other through email. Okay, so email here. So in today's lesson, you are going to look at how you can write an informal emails. Okay, so let's start with the writing guide here. So you can find this writing guides in your book as well. But to make it simple, let's look at the three important elements in your email. So the first thing is the greeting. So make sure before you start writing anything, you have a proper greetings. You can say hi, you can say hey, or you can say hello. And in the bracket here, then is the name. So not your name, okay, it is the name of the people who is going to read your email. So be aware that in some of the formal letter, they use the word dear and the name of the reader, which means it is very polite and in a formal way in writing a letters. So if possible, you can start your letter with dear somebody. For example, you write to your friend named John. You say dear John. So which is a very polite way in order to greet another people. So the greetings end there, and then you can start with the body part of your email. So the body part, which is the important part. So in the body part, you can include a detailed information regarding here. In this case, you can talk about the food of your countries. You can talk about a famous landmarks in our country or historic places and fun things to do. And last but not least, you need to end your paper properly. So to close your letter or your email, you need to say best, cheer, have fun, or hope to hear from you soon. And then you need to put your name, which is the way that the general idea of how to write an email. So everyone, let's look at a sample guidelines that I found on the internet, and I think it is very useful for all of you to use. So let's look at the informal letter. So they give you the beginning and endings. So before you start writing anything, you need to get a proper greeting. So here in this case, they use the word dear David, and you can end your letter with kind regards and your name at the bottom of this, or you can write a very simple way, good morning Tom, and then you can end this with warm or best regard at the end of your mail. Okay, and the other reasons, which is the body part, we talk about the reason for writing. It is a good idea to tell the reader why you write a letter. You can say, oh, I write this letter I write this letter in order to tell you some of the interesting fact about my country, something like that. So it is the reason for writings. Let's move on to the other point, which is the background, or it is the informations, the general information that you want your reader to know. Let's see, if you want to talk about your country, about food, about the place that it is very famous in our country, You can write it after you write about the reason here. So the background informations, which is the detailed informations, and the result, which is not very important in this case, but you can write the result. For example, when those people come to visit our country, what will they get? Okay, you can give them some suggestion. Let's say, I think you should come to visit our country because there are many reasons you can think of. Moreover, you can give your reader some information regarding to the communications, how they can communicate with you, how they are expected to get information from you. Let's say at the end of your letter, you can give your phone number, you can give your contact number, for example, email address or Facebook account or Telegram accounts. So it depends on you. Last but not least, it is the end of the letter. You can say many things for your message. Let me say sorry again for. Okay, if this one you reply to somebody late, you can use this phrase. I hope the solution is okay for you when someone asks you for suggestions. So here are the simple way in order to write an informal email address, because sooner or later you will need to write an email in order to apply for a job, in order to send some information to your friends. All right, so make sure you know how to write an email. So that's it, everyone, for the first activity, which is the writing skill. And I hope you can practice your writing skill later. You can send email to someone you know. If you don't mind, you can send email to me, it will be fine. Or if you don't have an email address, you can write a letter. It follows the same structure, okay? Now, everyone, that's it for the first activity. Now we move on to the other activity, which is the activity view. As you know, you learn the module 2, which is about the culture, and you learn a lot about a different culture. So today we are going to look at one culture. So everyone, let's start with this picture. Have you ever seen this actor before? These are the Bollywood movie star. And Bollywood movie, it is one of the biggest film industry in India. So today you are going to listen to what Bollywood is, okay? So when you listen, pay attention to the 10 words that you need to fill in the gap. So there are 10 words that you need to fill in the gap when you listen. So I hope you can apply the listening skill that I presented to you before. Take note, pay attention to the detailed information, okay? So are you ready for the listening activity? Good, now let's get started.
Track 10. Are you familiar with the term Bollywood? It comes from combining Bombay, the old name for India's capital, Mumbai, with Hollywood. And it refers to India's movie industry, which is the biggest in the world. It makes up to 800 films per year. Bollywood films were first popularized outside India in the 1940s and 1950s. That's because at that time, many Indians were moving to the UK and bringing their culture with them. This is called the Golden Age of Indian cinema. Critics praised Indian movies of that period because they showed the problems of urban life in a sophisticated way. Since then, Bollywood films have grown more and more popular in the UK and around the world. But they have changed in style. Now most blockbuster Bollywood films are musical romantic comedies. Fans love the unique aesthetic qualities of Bollywood's music, dances, and costumes, which make them completely different from Hollywood movies. Today, some Bollywood stars, such as Priyanka Chopra and Aamir Khan, are world-famous icons.
Okay, so everyone, that's it for the listening activities. So I would like to point out a name. So when you listen, you can hear the name, Aamir Khan. So he is one of the most famous Bollywood stars. So do you want to see his face? Okay, this one, the guy in the middle, he is very famous now. There are many films feature his face in that movie. So now one after your lessons, and I hope you get all the answer. So here is the answer. Let's check this one, whether you get the correct answer or not. So the first one is familiar. The second one is biggest. Number 3, popularized. Number 4, moving. Number 5, praised. Number 6, urban. Number 7, growth. Number 8, blockbuster. Number 9, majestic. And number 10, icons. So everyone, I hope you get the correct answer, and at least you will learn something about Bollywood. So once that's it for the first video sessions for today, and I hope to see you again in the second sessions. So now let's say goodbye.